Part 12. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 111. Don't be nervous or worry, I will help you restore the Shenlong Empire, Yang Tian said with a smile. You. Xian Yuanlonger was startled, wondering how this guy knew that he was a descendant of the Shenlong Empire. Yang Tian smiled and pointed to a pair of obvious dragon horns on her forehead. You are a dragon-blooded warrior. As far as I know, only the Dragon Empire can give birth to dragon-blooded warriors. Xian Yuanlonger was silent. The Shenlong Empire had been destroyed for many years, and the four major empires strictly blocked information about the Shenlong Empire. When she saw that Yang Tian was just an adventurer who had just come to the world of Taixu from another world, he actually knew about the Dragon Blood Warriors and the Shenlong Empire. This really surprised her. However, she didn't know that Yang Tian had the memory of his previous life and knew most of the knowledge in the world of Taixu. You, what do you want? Xian Yuanlonger's back was wet with cold sweat for a moment, and she started to tremble with fear. You know, the master has absolute control over his servants. As long as Yang Tian is willing, he can directly execute Xian Yuanlonger, or sell him to a brothel, and Xian Yuanlonger has no room to resist. Now, Yang Tian has seen through Xian Yuanlonger's identity, no wonder she is so nervous and trembling. Don't be nervous, I just want to help you, and I also need your strength, Yang Tian shrugged. Can I believe you? Xian Yuanlonger asked again. I think you can try to believe me. But now that things have happened, you have no other choice, right? Yang Tian curled his lips and said with a bad smile. Xian Yuanlonger gradually calmed down. Yes, he had no choice. He could only take one step at a time. It was useless to think too much. Therefore, Yang Tian withdrew from the Xinwu Empire and instructed Xian Yuanlonger to issue an imperial invitation to him. System, Xian Yuanlonger invites you to join the Shenlong Empire. Do you want to join? Join in. Yang Tian decisively joined in, only to feel a slight pain in his back. At this time, Yang Tian's back was already tattooed with a dragon with fangs and claws, which was obviously the emblem of the Dragon Empire. Dragon Empire badge, strength, physical strength, intelligence, spirit, agility add 10%. Xinwu Empire badge, strength add 3%. After joining the Shenlong Empire, Yang Tian's attributes skyrocketed. In comparison, the badge of the Xinwu Empire was nothing. At the same time, because Yang Tian withdrew from the Xinwu Empire, his rankings on the Xinwu Empire's equipment list and pet list were naturally cancelled. System, congratulations on your Ganzhong sword fragment improving its ranking on the Xinwu Empire's equipment rankings. It is currently no 1. System, congratulations on your modern elemental affinity staff improving its ranking on the Xinwu Empire's equipment rankings. It is currently no 2. As Yang Tian's magic energy conversion ring and Xian iron heavy sword disappeared from the rankings of the equipment of Sword Emperor and others, Wo Zi Fifan and others, Xiao Yao and others improved accordingly. Zi Fifan, Xiao Yao and others haven't paid attention yet, because they don't know Yang Tian's identity at all. But the Sword Emperor and others were startled. Sure enough, the dark iron heavy sword is also in the hands of Muddy Waters. The Sword Emperor had already made this guess, and now that it was confirmed, he snorted coldly. I heard from Shitu that Muddy Waters has a super famous name. Damn it, he must have been bombed. What a pity for those two top-notch pieces of equipment, Ao Shilingyun cursed. There is another possibility that Muddy Waters has withdrawn from the Xinwu Empire, the Sword Emperor said lightly. Resign? Then where can he go? Everyone was stunned. Maybe he went to the other 3 empires, or maybe he joined the hidden imperial forces in the Xinwu Empire. The Sword Emperor said, our goal is to dominate the Xinwu Empire. If Muddy Waters leaves, there is no need for us to look for him. If he is still developing in the Xinwu Empire, we will kill him without mercy. Yes, everyone was solemn. On the other side, the secret room. System, congratulations on getting Xianyuan Longer Special Teleportation Stone, permanent. Non-Empire members cannot use the Empire Teleport Stone, which makes traveling extremely inconvenient and wastes a lot of time. Therefore, most players will choose to join the Empire. As for the Hidden Empire, its royal descendants can make teleportation arrays and exclusive teleportation stones, so that they will not feel much inconvenience when traveling. However, making a teleportation array requires a high price: Lord Boss Beast Blood 1, Energy Crystal 1. Using the Life Skill Collection technique, you can collect animal blood from monster corpses. There is also a chance to collect the Lord Boss's animal blood from the corpse of the Lord Boss. As for energy crystals, you must break down golden equipment or even higher quality equipment before you have a certain chance of obtaining it. The construction cost is so expensive. Currently, Xianyuan Longer only has one teleportation array in the entire Tegzu world, in Dragon Valley. Dragon Valley is a hidden map that only people in the Shenlong Empire know, and it is a level 100 hidden map. In the main cities of the four major empires, apart from the official teleportation arrays, no private teleportation arrays are allowed to exist. Of course, you can also build a teleportation array secretly, but once discovered by the NPC guards, they will blow it up directly. Xianyuan Longer once purchased a courtyard in Xinwu City, the third main city of the Xinwu Empire, and built a teleportation array in the courtyard. In the end, she was discovered by the deputy city lord of Xinwu City, and also discovered her true identity. Fortunately, the greedy guy didn't hand her over to the Empire for processing, but directly beat her severely and stripped off all her equipment and gems. At the time, that was definitely a set of equipment that surpassed the dragon scale suit. He also blew up the teleportation array and occupied the courtyard that originally belonged to Xianyuan Longer, which was almost all her inheritance. The greedy deputy city lord was still not satisfied, and personally forced Xianyuan Longer out of the city and sold her to the owner of the auction house. Fortunately, Xianyuan Longer still kept a set of dragon scale suits, so now she doesn't have to start from scratch. Collect. Yang Tian muttered in his mouth, and directly took Xianyuan Longer back to the pet space through the iron cage. Although servants are not pets, they occupy the pet column by default. Of course, pets can only summon one at most, but servants can summon as many as they want. Yang Tian directly equipped Xianyuan Longer with the dragon scale giant sword and the dragon scale suit. These 6 pieces of equipment are protected by the task system and belong only to Xianyuan Longer, but now that Xianyuan Longer has equipped them, they have become equipment that can be dropped and traded. Longer, let me see your attributes, Yang Tian shouted directly to the pet column. In order to hide her identity, Xianyuan Longer must have hidden her data attributes, but now that things have come to this, she has no need to hide them from Yang Tian anymore, because Yang Tian already knew about them. Humph! Xianyuan Longer snorted and revealed her data attributes to Yang Tian. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 112. Master is awesome. Congratulations to the master for conquering another subordinate, Xiaojin shouted loudly in the pet channel. Xiaojin is quite smart and has even learned to flatter. Yang Tian smiled. Although he joined the Dragon Empire, theoretically, he should obey Xianyuan Longer. However, he is Xianyuan Longer's master, so of course he doesn't need to pay attention to tradition. In fact, he controls Xianyuan Longer. To some extent, he is the big boss behind the Dragon Empire. Xianyuan Longer, Lord Life. Profession, Dragon Blood Berserker. Empire, Dragon Empire. Level, 30. HP, 620,000/620,000. Physical attack power, 9800-10600. Armor break, 300. Steel guard, 100. Magic guard, 100. Light, Dark, Fire, Ice Enhancement, 50. Light, Dark, Fire, Ice Resistance, 300. Skills, Charge, Heavy Attack, Continuous Slash, Savage Charge, Heavy Weapon Mastery, Madness, Explosive Slash. Equipment Additional Skills, Mad Dragon Attack, Mad Dragon Guard. Professional Exclusive Skills, Dragon Constitution, Dragon Transformation. Tiskyang Tian looked at Xian Yuan Long's attributes, and the corners of his mouth twitched. Damn, this Xian Yuan Longer can almost single-handedly chop the old turtle now. Xian Yuan Longer has 300 armor penetration, and the old turtle has 130 points of steel protection. In this way, Xian Yuan Longer can completely cause real damage to the old turtle. A flat slash can break 10,000, and any skill can cause tens of thousands. Can the old turtle really withstand it? Yang Tian couldn't help but worry about the old turtle. However, the strength of the old turtle is not to be underestimated. It has no armor penetration, while Xian Yuan Longer has 100 points of steel and magic protection. In other words, all the attack methods of the old turtle are only half as powerful when hitting Xian Yuan Longer. But even so, any skill of the old turtle can cause tens of thousands of damage. The old turtle has 1.03 million health, while Xian Yuan Longer only has 620,000 health. If the two sides really fight, the outcome is unpredictable. Yang Tian is an old driver, so he must drive steadily. As long as he piles up a lot of magic penetration, he and Xian Yuan Longer will go to kill the old turtle together, and he will definitely get the nightmare level first kill. With a thought, Yang Tian transformed into a little devil again and came out of the secret room through the vent. Hey, let me out, I still have things to do, Xian Yuan Longer shouted in the pet channel. As a servant, Xian Yuan Longer's attitude is much worse than Xiao Jin's, but Yang Tian can't do anything with her. Although Yang Tian has the power to directly wipe out Xian Yuan Longer, it is impossible to do so. Xiao Jin, stinky woman, who are you talking to? Xiao Bai, ah. Before Yang Tian spoke, Xiao Jin and Xiao Bai screamed at Xian Yuan Longer. One of them was created by Yang Tian, and the other was hatched by Yang Tian from a pet egg. They are absolutely loyal and obedient to Yang Tian. Yang Tian smiled with relief, and without saying much, he summoned Xian Yuan Longer directly. At this time, Xian Yuan Longer was equipped with a dragon scale suit and a dragon scale giant sword. Humph! Xian Yuan Longer groaned and rushed into the backyard of the auction house with a sword. At this time, Yang Tian had already guessed what she wanted to do. She wanted to kill the boss of the auction house. In fact, her real enemy was the deputy city lord of Xinwu City, but she was no match for that person at all, so she could only kill the boss of the auction house to vent her anger. Anyway, this kind of boss who bought and sold black goods deserved to die. Bang! Xian Yuan Longer was simply a human-shaped beast, with violent power. She kicked open the iron gate of the backyard with one foot, and the smoke and dust rolled. Oh, what a beautiful girl! Suddenly, the guards and workers in the yard were attracted, looking at Xian Yuan Longer's face, showing a wretched smile. However, Xian Yuan Longer rushed towards them with a sword, and a collision directly knocked a guard away, hitting nearly 80,000 damage, killing him instantly. The guards and workers were shocked and realized that Xian Yuan Longer was not just a beautiful girl, she also had extremely strong strength. Heavy attack. Continuous slash. Xian Yuan Longer was decisive and violent, killing several people in the blink of an eye. But her skills were limited, and she had almost no group attack skills, so after her skills were empty, she could only use flat slashes to deal more than 10,000 damage. Although more than 10,000 damage was not a small amount, these guards were all elites of more than 20 levels, with HP of about 50,000, and she could no longer kill them instantly. Quick! You two, go and inform the boss. Several guards were sweating and carrying Xian Yuan Longer's attack, and at the same time they shouted anxiously to the two workers. "Oh, oh." The two workers were so scared that they rushed back immediately after hearing the words. However, Yang Tian raised his hand and killed them with two bone spears. The workers were just ordinary level, with only a few thousand lives, and Yang Tian killed them instantly. Backyard bedroom. "Damn, what are you doing?" A middle-aged man was awakened from his nap and cursed. His name is Wang Hu, the owner of this auction house. Wang Hu got up and dressed, but at this moment, he heard the fierce sound of weapons outside the house, and was immediately startled. Who is this blind guy again?" Wang Hu hurriedly put on his clothes, picked up a staff and rushed out. He was actually a mage. Rushing to the square in the courtyard, Wang Hu saw the elegant Qian Yuan Longer and was immediately sweating. "Damn it, how did this little dragon girl escape from the secret room?" Wang Hu was puzzled and frightened. Qian Yuan Longer was a level 30 Lord Life, while he was only a level 25 Lord Life. Moreover, a warrior and a mage, he was a little panicked. But he was panicked, but he couldn't escape, because Qian Yuan Longer rushed up with a sword as soon as he saw him coming out. Dragon transformation. Qian Yuan Longer shouted, and pieces of dragon scales actually grew on her body to cover her whole body. In the blink of an eye, Qian Yuan Longer turned into a dragon man, and behind her, there was a golden dragon tail swinging wantonly. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, Ba Wang Shi-san. Chapter 113. Dragon Blood Warriors are divided into Dragon Blood Berserkers and Dragon Blood Shield Warriors. As for dragon transformation, both types of Dragon Blood Warriors can be used. Within 1 minute, all attributes soar by 100%. After 1 minute, it falls into a weak state, and all attributes are reduced to 20%. Lasts for 3 minutes. The CD of dragon transformation is 5 minutes. There is no doubt that dragon transformation is strong, but there are also great risks. Qian Yuan Longer's release this time was obviously really angry at Wang Hu. "Oh my god, it's really a dragon blood warrior." Wang Hu and the guards looked at Qian Yuan Longer in the form of a dragon man, and they were so scared that they sweated. Heavy attack. Qian Yuan Longer stomped on the ground and leaped up. The giant sword in his hand brought a sharp cold light and slashed towards Wang Hu. Now, Qian Yuan Longer has 600 points of armor penetration, ignoring 600% of the target's physical defense. In fact, as long as the armor is pierced by 100 points, 100% of the enemy's physical defense, that is, all physical defense, can be ignored. But if the enemy has steel guard, it is not necessarily the case. Unfortunately, Wang Hu, an elemental mage, how could he have 600 points of steel guard? In other words, Qian Yuan Longer's attack on Wang Hu must be real damage. At this time, Qian Yuan Longer's damage also doubled. Swish. A sound like something was cut sounded, and Wang Hu raised his hand in a hurry to block it. But Qian Yuan Longer's sword fell and directly cut off Wang Hu's right arm, and blood splattered. 169,820. Huge damage emerged. Wang Hu was sweating profusely, and let out a miserable roar. His right hand was broken, and the staff in his right hand also fell to the ground, which caused his magic attack to drop a lot. Resist aura. Wang Hu's chanting speed was surprisingly fast. He finished chanting after a few lip contact. At this time, a lightning halo like a hula hoop popped out from his waist. This move was extremely powerful and had a knockback effect. Unfortunately, the resistance halo only caused a little damage to Qian Yuan Longer and did not knock her back. Just kidding, another professional exclusive skill of the Dragon Blood Warrior Dragon Bodyguard is a passive skill with the effects of life growth, defense growth, and stiffness growth. In other words, Xian Yuan Longer was extremely ferocious, and her stiffness was terrifyingly high, just like Mount Tai, standing firm. At the same time, because of the effect of dragonization, her stiffness was doubled, and Wang Hu's resistance halo could not knock her back at all. Xian Yuan Longer took a hit, but nothing happened. She just raised her knife and chopped wildly. Because of the effect of dragonization, her attack speed was also doubled. She chopped Wang Hu 4 times in 1 second and dealt nearly 80,000 damage. The DPS, damage per second, of the flat attack is as high as 80,000, which shows how fierce Xian Yuan Longer is. Wang Hu's health value dropped like a tide, and he became more and more anxious. Although he was a level 25 Lord Life, he was just a mage after all, and his HP was only 450,000, and now it was only half of that. Ice Armor. In panic, Wang Hu chanted and released a skill, and saw the cold air rising from his body, and an ice armor formed on his chest. Ice armor is an elemental shield that increases life and resistance. Ice armor increases life and ice resistance, flame shield increases life and fire resistance, and bone shield increases life and dark resistance. Of course, the life added by ice armor is not directly added to Wang Hu, but the ice armor itself has life. Xian Yuan Longer must break the ice armor before attacking Wang Hu, so that Wang Hu can continue to lose blood. Wang Hu's ice resistance is as high as 80,000 life, and there is also 80 points of ice resistance. Of course, ice resistance is useless to Xian Yuan Longer, because Xian Yuan Longer has no attribute attack now. Swish, swish, swish. Xian Yuan Longer was not moved at all. He chopped 4 times in a row, cutting the thick ice armor into 2 halves and smashing it to the ground, emitting cold air. Hiss. Beads of sweat appeared on Wang Hu's face. He was completely panicked and dared not fight anymore. Instead, he turned around and ran away. At the same time, Wang Hu chanted to release the flame shield and rock armor. Rock armor only increases life, not resistance, because there is no so-called earth attribute in the world of Taixu. But rock armor increases the most life value, and also has defense and hardness. You can't escape. Xian Yuan Longer caught up like the wind and continued to chop wildly. On the other side, just when Xian Yuan Longer and Wang Hu were fighting fiercely, Yang Tian summoned the ice snake, and together with the ice snake, he killed all the guards in the courtyard, and then enjoyed Xian Yuan Longer's crazy slaughter with interest. Ah! Xian Yuan Longer gradually lost her patience and cried out. The dragon scale suit on her body flashed a golden light, and then a golden dragon flew out of her body. The golden dragon roared, circled in the air, and suddenly slammed into Wang Hu. Bang! With a loud bang, the ground under Wang Hu's feet instantly cracked like a spider web, and Wang Hu's body was also bleeding. It was a horrible sight. That was the additional skill of the dragon scale suit Mad Dragon Strike. The skills attached to the equipment cannot be upgraded and have no room for growth, but they are generally very powerful in the early stage. For example, Mad Dragon Strike, a large-scale attack, 1500% physical damage, that is, 15 times the damage. After Xian Yuan Longer went berserk, her basic physical attack was 20,000, and using Mad Dragon Strike minus 300,000 group attack. This is so terrifying. However, Wang Hu had 2 elemental shields on his body, which helped him offset some of the damage. Wang Hu took the blow and did not die in battle, but only had the last 10,000 or so lives left. Yang Tian's eyes lit up, and he raised his hand with a bone spear to make up for it. With a squeak, Wang Hu fell to the ground, and there was a gorgeous explosion, the first kill. Of course, NPCs have only 1 life, as long as they are at the boss level, there are first kill rewards. Xian Yuan Longer came back to his senses and looked at Yang Tian angrily. It's just 1 skill point, don't be so stingy. Yang Tian smiled, and at the same time, the broadcast of Thunder City sounded, and Yang Tian got another first kill. Of course he was still anonymous. Discovering the hidden snow village, first kill Silverback King Kong, first kill Bloodthirsty Red Wolf, first kill Wang Hu. Yang Tian now has 4 skill points in his hand. Cool. Yang Tian can be very generous, but sometimes he must be a little selfish, because his goal is not only to be the first in the world, he also wants to save the earth, crush the Zerg, and travel the universe. Yang Tian pretended to be relaxed, but he was still under great pressure. 5 years later, if he was not capable enough, his relatives, friends, and even the entire earth would disappear. Therefore, Yang Tian would never be polite when it came to things he needed to take. Hey, they fought hard, and you just took their heads away. Isn't that too rude? Xian Yuan Longer cancelled the dragon transformation and entered a weak state in advance. She panted slightly and shouted at Yang Tian. Of course I have my own ideas and difficulties, Yang Tian said lightly. What do you think? Grab the skill points and benefits, you scum, you bully people with your status. Xian Yuan Longer was still dissatisfied. You don't understand. Yang Tian smiled and said no more. Recommend a new book written by a beautiful author, The Invincible Flirting System, where the girl personally drives everyone to pick up girls. One word, stable. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 114. System, you anonymously triggered 3 broadcast announcements. Congratulations on winning the title of Low-Key Warrior. Low-Key Warrior, Gold Quality. Equipment Type, Title. Grade 1. Strength add 100. Intelligence add 100. Additional effect, attack from behind, increase damage by 300%. If you display your ID and trigger 3 broadcasts, you will be awarded the title of Wind Warrior. Both titles are different, both are very powerful gold titles. The Low-Key Warrior is suitable for the sneak attack style. If an assassin obtains it, it will be even more powerful. Xian Yuan Longer was still angry and deliberately turned away to show Yang Tian's face. All the profits go to you, you're so stingy. Yang Tian shook his head helplessly. Hearing this, Xian Yuan Longer's face became more beautiful, and she trotted over happily. She is short of money. As a descendant of the imperial royal family, she has lost all her inheritance. Now she only has the dragon scale sword, dragon scale suit, jewelry, gems, and so on. You know, Yang Tian killed Wang Hu with his last blow, and everything exploded will have 10 minutes of property protection. In other words, in these 10 minutes, only Yang Tian can pick up those things, and outsiders cannot pick them up at all. Of course, Xian Yuan Longer is Yang Tian's servant, and she can pick up the equipment that Yang Tian explodes by default. Here, this is for you. Xian Yuan Longer finished cleaning the trophies and reluctantly handed a staff to Yang Tian. Yang Tian chuckled and lowered his eyes. Razor Lightning, Gold Quality. Equipment Type, Wand. Level 25. Physical attack power at 3549. Magic attack power at 355,409. Intelligence add 200. Additional attributes, light intensity add 50, light resistance add 200. Additional attributes, resist halo plus LV2. Forget it, I don't need this, you can handle it yourself. Yang Tian shook his head. Xian Yuan Longer suddenly smiled and carefully put away the thunder snake lightning. With a thought in his mind, Yang Tian took Xian Yuan Longer back, summoned Xiao Bai to ride on it, left Hongyi town, and galloped all the way north. System, you discovered the windmill zone and gained 6,000 experience points. More than half an hour later, Yang Tian came to a grassland where many tall towers were built. On top of the tower, there is a rotating windmill. Combined with the beautiful environment, it is quite eye-catching. On the grassland, there are many players brushing monsters. Flower Fairy, Normal. Level 23. Gender, Diamond Suit. HP, 3200/3200. Skills: Pollen, Flower Fairy Cannon. Butterfly Fairy, Normal. Level 24. Gender, Diamond Suit. HP, 3500/3500. Skill, Little Whirlwind. Whether it is the Flower Fairy or the Butterfly Fairy, they all default to the female beast, which means that they all have a chance of exploding pet eggs. Because of this, this windmill zone is a very popular map. However, Taegzu has been running for less than a month, and there are not many players who have reached level 20. Moreover, each of the 4 empires has a part, so this windmill area is not overcrowded. It's not overcrowded, but there are definitely a lot of players on this map. They couldn't help but be startled when they saw Yang Tian, with his super red name, carelessly riding the Snow Wolf King on the grass. CIAO, that person has such a famous name. His ID is almost going to turn black. If you explode him, at least several pieces of equipment will be dropped, and there is a high chance that all the equipment will be exploded. Haha, you are looking for death. With such a famous reputation, how can your strength be average? Any mount is a level 20 elite boss. Many players pointed at Yang Tianzi, but they were not like the newbies who attacked him when they saw his name. Of course they want to kill Hong's famous explosive equipment, but they are also afraid of Yang Tian's strength. This is a wild place. If they die, they will lose 1 level. Looking at the greedy and fearful eyes of the players, Yang Tian smiled disdainfully and drove Xiaobai to run forward quickly. Since others don't take the initiative to provoke him, he can't bully the newcomer. He ran away so fast. We can't kill him even if we want to. Nonsense, the elite Wolf King's mount, how can it be so slow? Seeing Yang Tian leave, some people breathed a sigh of relief, while others felt a little regretful, and some regretted that they had not done anything before. Some people even turned on the video recording function of the game system and posted the video of Yang Tian riding Xiaobai to the game forum with the title, "Encountering a Super Famous God in the Wild." Generally, game veterans like to visit forums. If you can show off, you can show off. If you can't, watching other people show off is also a kind of entertainment. Not long after, the post was liked. Once more people saw it, the news naturally spread. What? Muddy Waters is still in the Shinwu Empire? And now he is in the windmill area. The Sword Emperor received the news immediately and was somewhat surprised. Haha, God help me. Muddy Waters' level is not high. He must have just come to Thunder City. He is not familiar with the terrain of the windmill area. Brothers, come on. We must kill him this time. The Sword Emperor waved his hand and led the main group rush towards the windmill area. If his words were heard by Yang Tian would probably laugh to death. I'm not familiar with the windmill area. Who else is familiar with TM? On the other side, Yang Tian was riding Xiaobai on the grassland. He had already passed a mine, and when he continued to move forward, he came to an ant nest. Ahead is a dry grassland with messy caves, all of which are ant caves. Of course, the ants in the cave are not ordinary ants, but ferocious monsters half a man tall and holding steel forks. No one would have thought that one of the more than 100 ant caves actually contained a hidden map, a high-level mine. Of course Yang Tian knew which one it was, so he rode Xiaobai to the front of the cave and directly ordered Xiaobai to jump in. System, congratulations on discovering the hidden map Abandoned Cold Iron Mine and gaining 10,000 experience points. Huh? Has this hidden map been discovered? Yang Tian waited for a long time and didn't hear the second system prompt. He cursed and lost another skill point. With a flash of white light, Yang Tian came to the ruins of the Hanti mine. The air inside was cold and completely dark. There was no vision at all, and the surroundings were so quiet that you could hear a needle drop. Snapped. Yang Tian skillfully took out a cigarette, lit it, and lit a torch at the same time. Torch, Common/consumable can be used for lighting, usage time, 5 minutes. The torch was bought by Yang Tian from the auction house on the road just now. It was very cheap, 1 copper coin per piece. After lighting the torch, Yang Tian's surroundings suddenly became much brighter, and Yang Tian finally had some visible vision. Call out. Suddenly, Yang Tian keenly caught the sound of breaking wind, decisively handed over the flicker, and teleported 3 yards away. Bone Spear. 21,003. Yang Tian's face turned cold, he raised his hand and released a bone spear, shooting it towards his previous coordinates. System, you killed the murderous mantis and gained 1350 experience points. Thanks again to the boss of. There are 5 chapters in total, all added. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 115. Yang Tian raised the torch, and a dark red mantis corpse lying on the ground in front of him was about 1 person tall. The forelimbs of the mantis were like a pair of sharp knives, and it was quite painful to cut it on the fragile body. Obviously, this mantis was the main monster of this abandoned cold iron mine. Yang Tian continued to walk forward with the torch, and found that there were wall lamps hanging on the walls on both sides, but there were no candles. Yang Tian put the candles back and lit them with the torch. The candles were of course bought by Yang Tian when he bought the torch before. Soon, the wall lamps on both sides of the wall were lit, illuminating the mine. The cold iron mine was once a famous mine under the City of Thunder. Mining here has a high probability of producing cold iron. And cold iron is the necessary ore for making black iron equipment. As time goes by in the world of Taegzu, countless ant nests appear around the cold iron mine cave, and many ferocious monsters appear in the cold iron mine cave, causing this high-level mine cave to be abandoned and turned into an abandoned cold iron mine cave, which has become the so-called hidden map in the eyes of players. The above is the background information about the abandoned cold iron mine cave. Unfortunately, this hidden map has been discovered by a player before Yang Tian. However, Yang Tian felt that the man must have entered here by accident, and was killed by the killer mantis as soon as he came, and he didn't know the value of this high-level mine cave at all. That person didn't even know, or didn't remember, which of the more than 100 ant caves above was the hidden map. Yang Tian could only think so, otherwise, how could no one come to mine in this high-level mine cave? This doesn't make sense at all. Even so, the lucky guy also got a skill point, which was considered lucky. While Yang Tian was thinking, several more killer mantises came to kill him. Yang Tian smiled. Now that he had vision, he didn't take the mantis seriously at all. Xiaojian, Long Yang Tian summoned 2 servants at the same time. The 2 rushed out and killed the mantises in a few moves. Yang Tian certainly didn't come here to mine or to kill mantises. He took Xiaojin Long and continued to move forward. Not long after, he found another hole. In fact, the abandoned cold iron mine cave is an underground building with a total of 5 floors. At present, Yang Tian and others are on the first underground floor. The lower you go, the higher the mining rate, and there is even a possibility of digging silver and gold mines. But at the same time, the lower you go, the more dangerous it is. The mantis itself is a high-level monster of level 25. You can imagine how powerful the monsters below are. The hole in front of Yang Tian is the passage connecting the second underground floor. There is a ladder, but Yang Tian is too lazy to climb and jumps down directly. Then, Xiaojin Long also jumped down one after another. The hole connecting the third underground floor is on the other side, so there are naturally monsters blocking the way. You open the way. Yang Tian smiled and let Xiaojin Long push forward, while he followed behind the 2 of them in a wretched manner. After a while, Yang Tian and others came to the 5th underground floor. With the light from the torch in Yang Tian's hand, Xiaojin Long and the others continued to push forward, while Yang Tian followed behind and lit up the wall lamps one by one. When the wall lamp illuminated the entire 5th underground floor, Yang Tian began to pay attention to the situation on this floor. Red-eyed black bear, advanced. Level 30. HP, 15,000/15,000. Skills, Tier, Collision, Bear Claw. The monsters on the last floor are red-eyed black bears, all of which are advanced monsters with HP of 15,000 points. Xian Yuan Longer's normal attack cannot kill instantly, and Xiao Jin is even worse. Even if he uses skills, he cannot kill instantly. After all, he is only level 15 now. Taki, take the sword. Yang Tian took out the black iron heavy sword and threw it towards Xian Yuan Taki. Xian Yuan Taki felt a chill in his hand and secretly said that it was a good sword. He immediately changed his clothes and put on the black iron heavy sword, and temporarily took off the dragon scale giant sword. One is a level 30 golden giant sword, and the other is a level 20 golden giant sword. In terms of basic attack power and strength, the dragon scale giant sword is better than the black iron heavy sword, but the black iron heavy sword has an additional ice attribute attack, which increases 50 points of ice strength attack enemies without ice resistance, and increases damage by 50%. Attribute attack is very powerful if played well, but it is very rubbish if played badly. Because attribute attack itself does not increase attack power, it needs to improve the corresponding attribute enhancement. Fire attribute attack, stack fire strength. Ice attribute attack, stack ice strength. Light attribute attack, stack light strength. Dark attribute attack, stack dark strength. Moreover, even if you have the means of attribute attack and also have attribute strength, if the enemy's attribute resistance exceeds your attribute strength, not only will you not be able to increase the damage, but your damage will be weakened. Of course, for monsters, generally only the boss has a high attribute resistance, and most monsters do not have it, and even if they do, it is only a little bit. Xian Yuan Longer has a full 300 points of armor penetration, which is too high, all kinds of real damage. So she doesn't need to care about the enemy's defense at all, because she ignores it all and just focuses on increasing the damage. Taking off the dragon scale giant sword and replacing it with the black iron heavy sword, her basic attack is reduced by several hundred points, which doesn't matter at all, because 50 points of ice strength increases her damage by 50%. Now she can easily deal more than 15,000 damage to the black bear, and kill it instantly. Occasionally, it would deal more than 14,000 damage, but it would also slash the black bear to a trace of blood. Yang Tian summoned 3 skeleton mages and 3 skeleton archers to help him finish off the enemy. It was very cool and comfortable. Pushing forward, Yang Tian and his companions soon came to the end of this level of the mine. There was an unusually huge treasure chest in the corner in front. It was basically impossible to see what material and color the treasure chest was made of. Because it was completely covered with moss, and the treasure chest was covered with weeds and vines, it was obvious that it was very old. Wow! King-level treasure chest. Xian Yuan Longer's eyes widened instantly, and her beautiful eyes were full of brilliance. At first, she didn't understand why Yang Tian came here, and she didn't expect such a big surprise. As she said that, Xian Yuan Longer rushed towards the huge treasure chest with the black iron heavy sword in both hands. Be careful, Yang Tian reminded. It's still the same truth, there must be fierce beasts around the treasure. Of course, Yang Tian only gave a warning this time, and did not stop Xiao Fei directly like last time. Because Xian Yuan Longer was very powerful, Yang Tian was very relieved. Bang! Suddenly there was a loud bang, and Xian Yuan Longer was hit on the back of the head, so a circle of golden stars appeared on the top of the head, which was the special effect of falling into a dizzy state. Immediately, a black shadow emerged from behind Xian Yuan Longer, and it moved sideways like lightning and floated in front of Xian Yuan Longer. The dagger in his hand cut Xian Yuan Longer's delicate neck like a white swan without any emotion, and blood splattered. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, Ba Wang Shi-san. Chapter 116. Chapter 116 Netherworld Assassin. 65,000. 240,802. Two consecutive injuries appeared, and Xian Yuan Longer's health dropped by half. In fact, Xian Yuan Longer is a dragon-blooded warrior with very strong defense. Currently, both guards have 100 points. The enemy was able to cause such horrific damage to her. Obviously, that guy's armor penetration was also very high, and he basically ignored Xian Yuan Longer's physical defense and caused real damage. In fact, that guy is a sap and a throat wiper. Wiping the throat just hit a critical hit, and the damage was at least doubled. Netherworld assassin Yang Tian's eyes were stern. According to the background information of Taixu, only level 30 and above, after the assassin profession lord dies, can he become a ghost assassin after a long period of time. That black shadow is the Netherworld assassin. It is actually a golden skeleton, but like Xiaojin, it wears a black robe. Why the golden skull? Because the bones of the Lord's life have long since turned golden. Stab. Pierce the heart. 106,031. 160,032. Immediately afterwards, the Netherworld assassin used two more skills in a row, and the sharp dagger stabbed into Xian Yuan Longer's heart, causing blood to flow rapidly. The attack speed of the Nether assassin is so fast that it only takes less than 2 seconds to complete the entire set of actions starting from sap. At this time, Xian Yuan Longer's health dropped sharply, leaving only the last 50,000. According to the damage done by the Netherworld assassin, she couldn't withstand even one move. Summon the man-eating grass. Fortunately, Yang Tian's skills arrived, and man-eating grass grew crazily from the summoning array placed at the feet of the Netherworld assassin, entangling the Netherworld assassin. At the same time, Xian Yuan Longer finally woke up from her dizzy state. Her fair and pretty face was covered with tiny beads of sweat, and her face looked extremely frightened. No one would be so calm when half-stepping into the palace of hell, let alone Xian Yuan Longer, who was only a little girl under the age of 18. Longer, change into the dragon scale giant sword and activate the Mad Dragon Guard, Yang Tian roared. Xian Yuan Longer's face turned pale and she had been frightened for a long time. She woke up instantly when she heard Yang Tian's roar, and her back was soaked with cold sweat and became cold. Her mind went blank and she had lost the ability to think in a short period of time. She could only follow Yang Tian's orders step by step. Dress up. Crazy Dragon Guard. The giant dragon scale sword suddenly trembled, and a dragon roar sounded. At the same time, a golden and red light appeared on Xian Yuan Longer's body, which was the light of the domineering body. Overlord, the damage received is reduced by 10 times by default. And cannot be knocked away, knocked back, or knocked down. After Xian Yuan Longer activated the Overlord body, the Nether assassin could deal at most 10,000 to 20,000 damage. Even a critical hit could not take away Xian Yuan Longer's remaining 50,000 lives in an instant. Dragon transformation, Yang Tian ordered again. The dragon transformation lasts for 1 minute, and there will be serious side effects after 1 minute. In other words, after Xian Yuan Longer transforms into a dragon, he will definitely die if he does not last for 1 minute. But how could Yang Tian strike a stick that he was unsure of? The Nether assassin is very powerful, but in fact it is only a level 30 lord boss with only about 600,000 health points. With Xian Yuan Longer's explosive attack power, as long as it goes smoothly, why does it take a minute to kill the Netherworld assassin? A few seconds are enough. Hold head high. As Xian Yuan Longer's cherry lips opened and closed, a long dragon roar sounded. The next moment, her body was covered with pieces of dragon scales, and a thick and powerful golden dragon tail grew out from behind her little butt. In the blink of an eye, she transformed became a dragon human form. In an instant, Xianyuan Longer's attributes doubled. Even the life value, which was only over 50,000, was increased to 110,000. At the same time, the Nether Assassin released the control of the man-eating plant and swung his knife like lightning to kill the man-eating plant instantly. A series of stabs. I saw the Netherworld Assassin attacking Xianyuan Longer again, bang bang bang, hitting the same part 3 times in a row, but only inflicted more than 20,000 points of damage in total. Explosion / Yang Tian ordered. Hearing this, Xianyuan Longer suddenly swung his sword towards the Netherworld Assassin, and with a loud bang, the Netherworld Assassin lost 180,000 blood. Brutal collision. Next, without Yang Tian's command, Xianyuan Longer suddenly collided with the Netherworld Assassin, inflicting nearly 150,000 damage again. Xianyuan Longer only used 2 output skills to slash the Netherworld Assassin's life by more than half. And, the brutal collision luckily stunned the Netherworld Assassin. The Mad Dragon strikes. Xianyuan Longer jumped back quickly and launched the crazy dragon attack attached to the dragon scale suit. The next moment, a golden dragon flew out of her body, circled in the sky, and suddenly hit the Netherworld Assassin, causing 300,000 damage. Directly crushing the Netherworld Assassin into pieces. And those fragments emitted a golden light, and there was a gorgeous explosion. Call. Seeing the death of the Netherworld Assassin, Yang Tian breathed a rare sigh of relief and wiped his forehead with his hand. His hands were actually covered with cold sweat. This battle seemed easy, but Yang Tian was under great pressure. It doesn't matter if you're the only one who dies, it's just that you drop 1 level. Even if the super famous death is imprisoned in a dungeon, in reality, he can still spend millions of yuan to reward masters and rob the prison to rescue him. The key is that Xianyuan Longer is an NPC with only 1 life. If he dies, he really dies. How can Yang Tian not be nervous? Just now, if he and Xianyuan Longer made a mistake, or even just had bad luck, such as failing to control the man-eating grass, they would definitely be finished. Fortunately, everything is over now. Xianyuan Longer fell to the ground in exhaustion, and gave Yang Tian a grateful smile with a red face. Yang Tian couldn't help but curl his lips. Xianyuan Longer was too fierce just now. The last Mad Dragon attack directly emptied half of the blood of the Nether Assassin in 1 second. In this way, he couldn't even grab the head, and lost a little skill point. NPCs also get skill points for getting the first kill, so Xianyuan Longer got a little skill point, but the NPC will not trigger the broadcast. On the other side, the Sword Emperor took the main group to visit the entire windmill area and finally came to the ant nest. In fact, there is still a road behind the ant nest, but it is not the map of Thunder City, but the map of Shinwoo City. If Han Shui goes to Shinwoo City, we can't catch up with him. Let's try our best and search all the ant nests, Sword Emperor shouted with a dark face. So, all the members dispersed to more than 100 ant nests, and soon, one of them went down to the abandoned cold iron mine. Boss, I found a hidden map. And I'm not the first to find it? Maybe, Han Shui is the first to find it, the man shouted in the team channel. Great. If Han Shui is down there, he can't escape this time anyway, Sword Emperor said ecstatically. With a wave of his hand, he led everyone in the group down to the abandoned cold iron mine. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 117. Abandoned cold iron mine, 5 floors underground. Yang Tian rubbed his hands and walked towards the spoils of the Nether Assassin with excitement. You know, the Nether Assassin is also an undead, which means it has a slight chance of exploding a summoning skill. It is a lord. Although summon Nether Assassin is the same as summon Werewolf Zombie King, the summoned undead will be lowered by 1 level by default, and it will not be able to summon the peak state of the undead until the skill is upgraded to LV10. In other words, the summoned Nether Assassins of LV19, no matter how many Nether Assassins there are only at the leader level. But the leader summoned creature is also powerful enough. Yang Tian was inexplicably excited, and walked over to take a look, but unfortunately there was no skill book. Yang Tian was a little disappointed. Nether did explode a piece of gold equipment, a dark enchanted crystal, and a strengthening crystal. Nether dagger, gold quality. Level 30. Physical attack power at 422,501. Strength at 400. Agility at 300. Additional attributes, armor break, ignore 100% of the target's physical defense. Additional attributes, dark attribute enhancement at 60, dark attribute resistance at 300. The Nether dagger is undoubtedly very strong, even above the black iron heavy sword. If Yang Tian is still a member of the Shinwu Empire, he picked up the Nether dagger, and the Nether dagger would definitely rush to the number 2 of the equipment ranking, squeezing the black iron heavy sword down. However, although the Nether dagger increases the dark power, it does not add a dark attribute attack, which is quite embarrassing. Yang Tian happened to have a dark enchanted crystal that had just exploded in his hand, so he directly pushed it up. System, congratulations on your successful enchantment, the Nether dagger adds a dark attribute attack. Just kidding, the enchanted crystals are all of gold quality, of course the success rate is 100%. However, any equipment can only have one enchantment effect. Even if it is enchanted repeatedly, the new enchantment effect will overwrite the old enchantment effect. Enhancement gems can be infinitely enhanced, but there is a failure rate, and above add 9, there is only a 1% success rate for continued enhancement. Once it fails, the equipment and enhancement gems will all explode. Enhancement is definitely for the rich, and ordinary players don't even think about it. Yang Tian will definitely not sell such a powerful equipment as the Nether dagger. Weapons such as daggers are definitely not as expensive as great swords. The Nether dagger, especially after Yang Tian's enchantment, is much more powerful than the black iron heavy sword, but the price is far less expensive than the black iron heavy sword. Even if it is sold, it will cost at most 300,000 RMB. Yang Tian is not short of this little money, so he plans to leave it to Xiaofei, but Xiaofei is only level 21 now, which is far from enough for equipment. In addition, the boy was rather reckless. If he gave it to him now, it would be a huge loss if someone else took it out. So Yang Tian collected it first. However, before collecting it, Yang Tian sent a private message to Xiaofei and posted the attributes of the Nether dagger. Brother Shui. Is this dagger for me? Don't say anything, I love you. Xiaofei was so excited that she was about to explode. Upgrade quickly. When it reaches level 30, I will give it to you, Yang Tian replied. Brother Shui, I can't upgrade it anymore. It's so difficult to upgrade Taixu. Xiaofei said with a wry smile. I have to upgrade it even if I can't. I'll take you with me after I finish the things I have on hand. Yang Tian smiled, then closed the private message and ignored Xiaofei. In addition to the Nether dagger, dark enchanted crystal, strengthened crystal, and some garbage, the Nether assassin also exploded a key. The key was rusty and looked extremely old. It was the key to the king-level treasure chest. Yang Tian knew that this netherworld assassin would definitely drop the king-level key, so he did not act with Xiaofei. Walking towards the king-level treasure chest, Yang Tian opened the treasure chest with a click. A cloud of dust was raised inside, which showed that this king-level treasure chest had a long history, and a sharp arrow was shot out from the king-level treasure chest. Flash. Yang Tian was mentally prepared and teleported away directly. Bang. Yang Tian teleported to avoid the sharp arrow, which hit the roof with a terrifying sound of breaking wind, and blasted a hole. Large pieces of rocks and debris fell and hit the ground, raising a cloud of dust. If Yang Tian remembered correctly, the attributes of this sharp arrow were 50,000 physical attacks, 100 points of armor penetration. In other words, if Yang Tian was shot, he would lie here directly. The king-level treasure chest was twice as big as the average treasure chest, but there was thick dust inside, and even some disgusting blood maggots were born. The blood maggots have low damage, but they have a stiffening effect. Yang Tian directly ordered the skeleton mage to throw a dark fireball down, and waited for a moment before reaching in to fish something out. Crown, gold quality rare material, unknown use, sell it to the store for a gold coin. Explosive bracelet, king's weapon. Level 20. Equipment type, bracelet. Physical defense add 200. Magic defense add 500-600. Strength add 500. Intelligence add 500. Critical hit rate add 50%. Additional attribute, critical hit damage add 100%. Additional attribute, armor penetration, ignoring 150% of the enemy's physical defense. Additional attribute, spell penetration, ignoring 150% of the enemy's magic defense. Symbol of the king, king's weapon. Level 20. Equipment type, ring. Additional skills, lucky addition. Lucky plus, it consumes 1 gold coin to use. Within 60 seconds, when strengthening the equipment, the current success rate will be doubled 10 times. Gold. The explosion rate of royal quality items increases tenfold. The huge king level treasure chest only has these 3 items, and not even a single copper plate. But Yang Tian was not too little at all, he was even ecstatic in his heart. He got 2 royal weapons at once, what more could he want? The initial character in Taegzu has a 1% critical hit probability by default, and the critical hit damage is doubled by default. This explosive bracelet directly increases the probability of a critical hit by 50%. In other words, if Yang Tian wears it, he will get a critical hit on average every 2 times. What's even more frightening is that this explosive bracelet also increases critical hit damage. If Yang Tian's bone spear does 20,000 damage, and there is a critical hit, it will be 40,000. But after possessing this explosive bracelet, critical hit damage add 100%. Let's assume that a bone spear does 20,000 damage. If there is a critical hit, it will be 60,000. In addition, the explosive bracelet also adds 150 points of armor penetration and 150 points of spell penetration. After getting it, Yang Tian and the undead army can directly reduce the old turtle's 130 points of double protection to 0. Although it is still not enough to deal real damage, at least the damage will not drop too much. You know, the title of murderer also increases critical hit damage by 10%, armor piercing by 10 points, and magic penetration by 10 points. Yang Tian happened to have no bracelet, so he directly put on this explosive bracelet. Now he and Xian Yuan Longer can definitely hack the old turtle to death. Yang Tian came to this hidden map with the main purpose of getting this explosive bracelet. But surprisingly, a royal weapon ring was also released. You know, Yang Tian didn't even know that there was a royal ring in this treasure box. It was an unexpected surprise. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 118. The symbol of the king is a level 20 king weapon, but it is very strange that it does not increase any attribute. The only skill lucky also requires 1 gold coin to be released once. But it has doubled the enhancement probability by 10 times, which is quite cool. Equipment add 1, 90% success rate. Equipment add 2, 80% success rate. And so on. When it is add 9, there is only a 10% success rate, and 10 times it is 100%. So Yang Tian will be very stable when he enhances the equipment by add 9 in the future, and there is no failure rate at all. In the later stage, Yang Tian can make a lot of money with this skill, buy a powerful weapon, add 9, and then sell it. Now, the equipment level is not high, and it is also very rubbish, so it is really a waste to use enhancement gems. However, when the equipment is at 10 or above, there is only a 1% success rate. Even if it is doubled by 10, it is only a 10% success rate. Even Yang Tian dare not gamble. Imagine that Yang Tian upgraded Ad 9 equipment to level 10, and when it exploded, all the awesome equipment and enhanced gems exploded. That was a huge loss, and I was even in the mood to delete my account. In addition, Lucky Plus also increases the drop rate of Gold King quality items by 10 times. However, except for the first kill, the drop rate of Gold King quality items is very low. It may be better for Wild Boss, and the drop rate of Dungeon Boss may be less than 1 in 10,000, so even if the drop rate is increased tenfold, it may not be useful. But Yang Tian didn't care whether it was useful or not. Every time he killed the Lord Boss and the King Beast, he would change his clothes to symbol of the King and turn on Lucky Plus. A gold coin is only more than 200 yuan, just like buying a lottery ticket. Take a chance, a bicycle becomes a motorcycle, and a motorcycle becomes a sports car. Small gambling is fun, big gambling is harmful, it doesn't matter. After getting 2 king weapons in one wave, Yang Tian smiled very satisfied and arrogantly. The only regret is that he has now withdrawn from the Xinwu Empire and cannot be on the equipment ranking list of the Xinwu Empire. He wants to see if the blasting bracelet, the symbol of the king, can surpass the magic conversion ring. To be honest, it is not certain. Of course, you can't see it now, but Yang Tian knows that you will see it soon. In the Chinese theater, as long as one player reaches level 30, the Chinese theater ranking list will be opened. At that time, hundreds of millions of players in the entire Chinese theater will compete for the ranking list. That is the real ranking list. The reason why it has not been opened yet is that no player in the entire Chinese theater has reached level 30, and the highest is only level 29. Don't underestimate this level. The further you go in Taixu, the more difficult it is to upgrade. If an ordinary player upgrades from level 29 to level 30, Yang Tian will not be surprised even if it takes 10 days. Of course, the great players will be much faster, but so far, the great players in the Chinese theater are only level 29, and some are even lower because they are hidden professions. Bang, bang, bang. Just when Yang Tian took little Jin Long back to the pet space and was about to pat his butt and leave, Jian Huang and others finally arrived. They were one of the top elite groups in the Xinwu Empire. With a wave of long-range professional bombardment, they killed a group of red-eyed black bears in seconds. Muddy water, Jian Huang rushed over and roared, but when he saw the king-level treasure chest next to Yang Tian, he was stunned. What kind of treasure chest is that? It's so big. Ao Shi Lingyun trembled at the corner of his mouth and shouted exaggeratedly. It's above the gold treasure chest, most of it is a king-level treasure chest. Even if it's not called this name, it must be king-level, Ao Shi Fenchen analyzed, and for a moment, everyone present had red eyes and looked at Yang Tian with extreme greed. He opened the king-level treasure chest, and now he probably has the king-level weapon in his hand. Damn it, he has withdrawn from the Xinwu Empire, and we don't even know what he has. It doesn't matter, killing him and exploding the equipment is the same. For a while, all the masters were extremely excited. King-level weapons, is there anything more tempting than king-level weapons now? Facing the Sword Emperor and the top elite group, Yang Tian smiled, I won't play with you this time. Next time I meet you, I will make you all lose levels. Boy, you are looking for death. All members were furious, the warriors charged, and the mages and archers directly used their skills instantly, bombarding Yang Tian like an overwhelming force. However, at this time, Yang Tian had already pulled out the system interface and clicked on the City of Sin. With a flash of white light, he disappeared without a trace. Boom! Countless magic and energy arrows bombarded around the king-level treasure chest, smoke and dust rose, but Yang Tian was gone. He ran away. System, you found the City of Sin, 2. Yang Tian is currently level 20. He entered the City of Sin and came to the familiar City of Sin, 2, again. This time, he was randomly teleported to a street corner safe zone. Haha. Yang Tian could fully imagine the disappointed faces of Jian Huang and others, and couldn't help but sneer. This time, he did not choose to fight with the Jian Huang team because he couldn't afford to die now. Xian Yuan Longer was still in a weak state. Under the circumstances at that time, he naturally didn't dare to summon Longer. And if he challenged the Jian Huang team alone, his chance of winning was 0. Even if he could kill a few people in seconds, he would still be taken away by the other side. As long as he died, he would be in jail for 1000 hours, and at least half of his equipment would be lost, or even all of it would explode. The key point was that his current equipment was too luxurious, and he really couldn't afford to die. Yang Tian was an experienced driver, always seeking safety, and never played a stick that he was not sure of. And this time, coming here was also in Yang Tian's plan. Not just to clean up the sin points. He wanted to continue to brush up the sin points, and then clean them all. Because he wanted to get a higher level criminal title than the murderer. As a lord, Xian Yuan Longer had a strong recovery ability. Yang Tian waited for 10 minutes, and she automatically recovered to her peak. Yang Tian summoned her out and went straight to the prison. Enter the prison from the City of Sin, 2, and you will arrive at the second floor of the prison by default. Those who trespass the prison will die. There were 6 prison guards at the gate of the prison, all of whom were level 16 to 18, with only about 20,000 health. Yang Tian was not afraid at the time, but now it seems that he is so weak. In Xian Yuan Longer's view, they were even more vulnerable. Xian Yuan Longer quickly chopped down the prison guards to clear the way, and Yang Tian successfully broke into the second floor of the big prison. For a moment, countless criminals imprisoned in the dungeon were shocked. Damn, someone broke into the dungeon. Taegzu is so awesome, there is even a prison break setting. Master, save me out. At this stage, very few players have red names, and even if they have red names, their sin value is very low. So the players who are caught in the prison are replaced by new players several times a day. Although Yang Tian has come here for the second time, none of the newcomers inside know him, and they immediately yell when they see him. Thanks to for being promoted to Grandmaster. Add one more chapter first, and continue tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, Ba Wang Shi-san. Chapter 119. Yang Tian smiled evilly. This time he really wanted to liberate the criminals. For every criminal imprisoned on the second level of the prison, each liberated person, the liberator and the liberated, will have their crime points increased by 50 points. What Yang Tian wants now is sin points. 1000 sin points will lead to the title of murderer, 5000 sin points will lead to the title of murderer, and 10,000 sin points will lead to the title of Bloodthirsty Demon King. The Bloodthirsty Demon King is already a gold quality title with very powerful attributes. Further up, the title of criminal at the royal level requires a full 50,000 points of sin points to obtain. At this time, the guards on the second floor of the big prison discovered Yang Tian and Jin Longer, and they immediately roared and surrounded him from all directions. However, most of the prison guards were soldiers and lacked long-range attack skills. Yang Tian had little Jin Takier escorting him on his left and right, so he was naturally not afraid at all. Not long after, little Kane Takaiji killed some prison guards and revealed a key, the key to the cell on the second floor of the prison. This key is universal, which means that as long as you dare, you can use this key to liberate all the criminals on the second floor of the prison. Of course Yang Tian dares, but at this stage he has limited time and can't afford it. After all, if the sin value is too high, it will be very troublesome to clean up. If you spend too much time in Sin City, the old turtle's first kill may be in doubt. God knows when Xinhui and Aishi will be able to swipe the old turtle. Therefore, Yang Tian's purpose for this wave is to gain 10,000 points of sin points first, and then get the bloodthirsty Demon King first. As for the title of a higher level criminal, leave that for later. Quick, quick, quick. Big brother, save me, you are a good person. 666, God, please save me too. A good man will have a safe life. The criminals locked in the iron prison couldn't help shouting excitedly when they saw that Yang Tian had obtained all the keys. Yang Tian's smile became more and more sinister. Grandma, this is what you asked for, no wonder I am. With a click, Yang Tian walked over and opened an iron prison, instantly using a bone spear to cut off the chain hanging the criminal, freeing him. System, you have successfully escaped from prison, and your crime value is at 50 points. The criminal heard a system prompt in his ears. He was startled, and immediately his face became extremely ugly. Damn it, jailbreaking increases the crime value by 50 points. The criminal cried and said, what a sin. I originally only had 2 points of sin, and it would be over for just 2 hours. Now his grandma has to worry and be afraid for another 50 hours. It's true, brother, you won't lie to us, will you? The criminals asked anxiously. I lied to you. You can probably tell by looking at the color of the red name on my head, right? The man pointed at the ID above his head that instantly turned into deep red, and he almost cried without tears. At the same time, all the criminals were also feeling frightened. Their crime value was not much, and they would be liberated automatically after holding on for a few hours. If jailbreaking is okay, of course they want to be liberated faster, but jailbreaking increases the crime value by 50 points, which they can't stand. Kaka. However, Yang Tian couldn't control that much. He opened 2 iron prisons and liberated 2 more criminals. Ah! It's true. Jailbreaking increases the crime value by 50 points. It's over. I'm afraid my account will be destroyed. The 2 criminals who had just been liberated had system prompts ringing in their ears at the same time. Their red names deepened and they suddenly felt lustful. Cry without tears. At this time, all the criminals were completely panicked. Seeing Yang Tian clicking wildly to open the iron prison and liberating the criminals one by one, it was their turn soon, and they couldn't help but give Yang Tian good words. Boss, please stop, you will kill us. That's right, it took me 2 weeks to reach level 18. Is it easy? If you save me now, my account will be disabled and I will have to start over again. Yes, big brother, even if you don't think about us, you should also think about yourself. Look, your red name has turned black. Isn't it worth at least hundreds or thousands of sin points? Can you save me now? It's you who tricked us. Stop it. You have to be merciful and merciful. The criminals started to persuade them in various ways and started jumping anxiously. Yang Tian chuckled, this is what you asked for. It's not a good man to back down now. My hero, you are paralyzed. Crap. This SB definitely wants to delete his account. Before he left, he didn't forget to drag us into the water, so damn vicious. Seeing that Yang Tian was unmoved, the criminals began to curse wildly and attack Yang Tiansheng. At this moment, Yang Tian was furious and rescued one and killed another immediately. Well. Seeing Yang Tian's terrifying methods, the liberated criminals immediately dared not make a sound and fled silently to the city of Sin, too. As for the criminals in the cells, they immediately kept silent and did not dare to get into trouble. System, your crime value has reached 5,000 points. Congratulations on winning the title of murderer. System, your sin value has reached 10,000 points. Congratulations on winning the title of bloodthirsty demon king. Bloodthirsty Demon King, Gold Quality. Equipment Type, Title. Grade 1. Physical Attack Power at 300. Magic Attack Power at 300. Additional Attributes, Critical Damage at 30%. Additional Attributes, Armor Breaking, ignoring 50% of the target's physical defense. Additional Attributes, Magic Penetration, ignoring 50% of the target's magic defense. Additional Effect, every time you kill a target, you will recover 10% of your own health. After Yang Tian liberated nearly 200 criminals in a row, he finally got the title of Bloodthirsty Demon King, and then rushed to the third floor of the prison with Xiaojin Longer. Of course, for the same type of titles, once you get a high-level title, the low-level title disappears. So when Yang Tian got the title of Bloodthirsty Demon King, his titles of Villain, Murderer and Murderer all disappeared automatically. When they arrived at the third floor of the prison, Yang Tian and Xiaojin Longer were surrounded by a large number of prison soldiers, and they were all prison soldiers of level 21 to 30. Yang Tian frowned. At this time, his sin value was enough. The next thing was to wash away the sin value. But now there are prison soldiers blocking the way, Yang Tian doesn't mind killing them. Anyway, the sin value is already so much, and he is not afraid of a few more points. Muddy Water. You bastard, you're here to rob the prison again. Do you think our prison is a vegetable garden? You can go in and out as you like. With a heavy roar, a burly man with a huge axe on his shoulder rushed over. This man is Blood Axe King Zhong, a level 25 leader life. 2 days ago, Yang Tian was not his opponent, so he took Alice and Hill to avoid him. But now, Yang Tian's strength has skyrocketed several times, and with the strong help of Xianyuan Longer, Yang Tian looked at him as if he was looking at a dead man. The world is so big, I can go wherever I want, can you stop me? Yang Tian sneered and snapped his fingers coolly. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 120. A green summoning array lit up next to Blood Axe King's feet. Immediately, man-eating grass grew wildly and wrapped around Blood Axe King. Kill! Yang Tian roared, and the little Jintonga rushed forward one after another. One used slamming and the other used brutal charging, and at the same time they hit the Blood Axe King. Xiaojin can no longer keep up with the rhythm. Both it and Xianyuan Longer were 15 levels apart from the Lord's life. Not to mention, it was full of garbage while Xianyuan Longer was equipped with golden equipment. It slammed into the Blood Axe King and was only able to deal over 3,000 points of damage. However, Xianyuan Longer's brutal collision resulted in more than 100,000 damage. The gap between the two sides was really too big. Xianyuan Longer is currently using the Dark Iron Heavy Sword. Compared to the Dragon Scale Great Sword, the Black Iron Heavy Sword has a much greater boost to her. However, the Dragon Scale Great Sword has a 10-second body healing Mad Dragon Guard, and occasionally can be used as a replacement. Swish, swish, swish. Xianyuan Longer wielded the Black Iron Heavy Sword and slashed at the Blood Axe King's body repeatedly, leaving layers of ice chips on the Blood Axe King's body between swings, dealing ice attribute damage. A single slash would cause 14,000 to 15,500 points of damage. Not long after, there was only a trace of residual blood left in the Blood Axe King, and Yang Tian saw it filled up with a bone spear. Blood Axe King only focuses on the boss's life, not the Lord's life. The first kill does not provide skill points, let alone a broadcast announcement. As the Blood Axe King fell down, something exploded on the ground. Yang Tian didn't even bother to look at it, so he hurriedly picked it up and put it away. With two royal weapons in hand, even the silver equipment has no appeal to Yang Tian now. System, you discovered Sin City, 3, and gained 8,000 experience points. Yang Tian and Xiaojin Longer escaped from the third floor of the prison and came to a grassland. Looking up, they could see the high-rise buildings of Sin City, 3. On that grassland, there was a dark demonic wolf that was only as big as a bull, with red eyes, white fangs, and black wolf hairs standing upright. Overall, it looked much more ferocious than a male lion. Bloodthirsty demonic wolf, monster. Level 25. HP, 22500/22500. Skills, Bite, Suck Blood, Pounce. Bloodthirsty demon wolves are level 21-30 monsters that can be found everywhere in Sin City. 3. Unfortunately, they are not summoned by the Necromancer. In other words, it is impossible for the bloodthirsty demon wolf to explode the summoning skill book. Call out. Xian Yuan Long rushed forward, with a terrifying sound of breaking wind, and struck a bloodthirsty demonic wolf with a heavy blow, inflicting more than 100,000 damage and killing it instantly. Xian Yuan Long's basic physical attack power is too high, around 10,000, and any of her skills does more than 800% damage. She has a full 600 points of armor penetration and various real damage at this stage. When she wears the dragon scale sword, any skill can deal at least 80,000 damage. Now wearing the dark iron heavy sword, although the basic attack power has dropped by several hundred points, the ice damage has been increased by 50%. As long as the target has no ice resistance, she can easily deal more than 100,000 horrific damage. Continuous chop. Swish, brush, brush. I saw Xian Yuan Long slashing wildly, slaughtering the bloodthirsty demon wolves one by one. The blood flowed violently, making her like a bloody Valkyrie. However, Xian Yuan Long's skills are very few and cannot be connected into a cyclic set. During the skill vacuum period, she can only slash flatly, costing about 15,000 with one sword, which will not kill the bloodthirsty demon wolf in seconds. Yang Tian looked at it and frowned secretly. Now he has 10,000 sin points. Each point of sin points requires a full 10,000 contribution points to be washed away. Every time a bloodthirsty demon wolf is killed, 100 contribution points can be accumulated. In other words, if Yang Tian wanted to wipe out all 10,000 sin points, he would need to kill about 1 million bloodthirsty demon wolves. Xian Yuan Long couldn't kill the bloodthirsty demon wolf instantly with a flat slash, which troubled him very much. I have to find a way to increase Taki's flat slash damage, otherwise, when will I be able to clear my red name? Yang Tian sighed secretly, then took out a cigarette, lit it, and took a puff irritably. If you want to increase the damage of flat slashing, there is no doubt, increase the basic attack power, increase the attribute enhancement, and increase the probability of critical hits. Basic attack power is the top priority, because whether it is skills, attribute enhancements, or increased damage from critical hits, they all depend on basic attack power. The higher the basic attack power, the more explosive the damage. This is the consensus. However, it is extremely difficult to increase basic attack power. For example, a level 25 advanced power gem, gold quality, only increases power by 1,000 points. First of all, that kind of gem is too expensive, one costs at least 150,000 silver coins. Furthermore, even if Xian Yuan Long's basic attack power is at 1,000, it is far from enough. In addition, there is a critical hit probability. Currently, Xian Yuan Long's critical hit probability defaults to 1%, and the critical hit damage is doubled. In other words, if she hits a critical hit at random, she can instantly kill the bloodthirsty demon wolf with a flat slash, but the probability of her hitting a critical hit is too low. Yang Tian could temporarily lend her the explosive bracelet. In that case, she would hit an average of 1 critical hit every 2 swords, but that wouldn't be pretty either. Because Yang Tian needed her to kill the bloodthirsty demon wolf with 100% instant kill. After much deliberation, it seems that the only way to improve ice strength is to go. Yang Tian took a puff of cigarette, summoned some skeletons to protect him, and then began to visit the auction house, searching for ice and snow gems. Intermediate Ice and Snow Gem, Silver. Level 20. Additional, Ice Attribute Enhancement add 50, Ice Attribute Resistance add 200. The same level 20 Silver Gem, in the auction house, the cheapest Ice and Snow Gem is more than 60,000. You know, energy gems are only 30,000 each. Ice and Snow Gems of the same level and grade are more than twice as expensive as energy gems. Why? Because among all gems, energy gems are the cheapest. Because 90% of the professions in Tegzu will not lack mana, only the Necromancer, especially the Undead Master, will lack mana so much. Because the demand is small, the price is cheap, which is natural. Damn, fortunately I abused the stubborn stone before and got more than 100,000 in profit, otherwise I really can't afford it. Yang Tian gritted his teeth and spent all his money, a total of nearly 200,000 silver coins, to buy 3 level 20 intermediate Ice and Snow Gems. After getting the gems, Yang Tian gave them directly to Xianyuan Longer. After Xianyuan Longer equipped them, the ice strength reached 200 points. 100 points of ice strength, double the ice attribute damage. Xianyuan Longer has 10,000 basic attack power, and a flat slash will deal 20,000. 200 points of ice strength, ice attribute damage add 200%. Xianyuan Longren has 10,000 basic attack power, and a flat slash will deal 30,000. It's stable. I saw a trace of ice blue cold air suddenly coming out of Xianyuan Longer's body. This is a special effect caused by the high ice strength to a certain degree. Xianyuan Longer attacked wildly again, and a flat slash of 30,000 killed the bloodthirsty demon wolf in seconds. Any skill can deal at least 240,000 damage, and even some skills, such as Burst Slash, can directly deal more than 300,000 terrifying damage. This is so powerful that it's a bit abnormal. Of course, Xianyuan Longer is now bullying the monsters without attribute resistance. You know, most bosses have attribute resistance. For example, the old turtle has a terrifying ice resistance of 800 points. It can directly offset Xianyuan Longer's 200 points of ice strength, leaving 600 points of ice resistance, and slash Xianyuan Longer's attack power by 6 times. However, when Yang Tian Long attacked the old turtle, Long did not use the black iron heavy sword, but the dragon scale giant sword.